Hi, good day. This is Miss LM and we're back again with another math video, and today we're going to talk about the part 2 of the Hinge Theorem and its converse. So in this video, we're going to continue what we have discussed from our previous video, which is all about these theorems. For this video, we're going to find the range of possible values of the variable using the two theorems. So, before that, let us remember those two theorems. First is the Hinge Theorem na tinatawag ding SAS Inequality Theorem. Magagamit lang ito kapag meron tayong two corresponding congruent sides. And, alin po yung ating titingnan? The included angles. So, if the included angle of the first triangle is greater than the included angle of the second, then the third side of the first triangle is longer than the third side of the second. So, dito sa Hinge Theorem, we are going to depend our answer on the given angle. So, the smaller the angle, the shorter the side, and then the larger the angle, the longer the side. So, that only means na kapag meron tayong measurements ng angles, we can compare those measurements, also the sides opposite to them. Like this one, measure angle A is greater than measure angle X. Therefore, the side opposite to it, BC and YZ. So, ganito yung ating comparison. Side BC is greater than side YZ. So, tandaan po, the larger the angle, the longer the opposite side, and the smaller the angle, the shorter the opposite side is. For the converse of the Hinge Theorem, tinatawag naman tong SSS Inequality Theorem, kung saan kailangan din natin ng two corresponding congruent sides. And then, meron tayong third side kung saan may mas mahaba at may mas maikli. So, if the third side of the first triangle is longer than the third side of the second triangle, then the included angle of the first triangle is larger than the included angle of the second triangle. So, dito naman, sides muna yung given. So, the shorter the side, the smaller the angle, the longer the side, the larger the angle is. So, makakompare yung sides, and at the same time, kahit walang given na angle, basta may given yung sides, malalaman din natin kung alin yung greater at saka yung smaller. So, in other words, the longer the side, the larger the opposite angle, and the shorter the side, the smaller the opposite angle. Okay, now for our lesson objective for this topic, we're going to find the range of the possible values of the variable. So, we have this triangle, given the angles 27 degrees and 37 degrees. Then, the sides opposite to them, we have 3x minus 5 and 2x plus 3. We're going to find the values of x kung saan masasatisfy pa rin yan na mas maliit yung side opposite to 27 degrees kaysa sa side opposite to 37 degrees. So, yun yung hahanapin natin. Ano yung values ng x na masasatisfy pa rin na mas maikli itong 3x minus 5 kaysa sa 2x plus 3. So, we have the steps to follow to find those values. So, let's have step number 1. So, here we're going to find an upper limit of the value of x. So, tandaan din po, parang ito yung ginawa natin before sa ating topic when it comes to finding the possible values of x sa triangle inequality theorem number 3. Kung saan we have the x is greater than the lower limit and x is less than the upper limit. Again, lower limit, upper limit. Now, we're going to find out the upper limit of the value of x in this figure. Una, kailangan alam natin kung alin ang mas malaking or mas mahabang sides and angles. So, here we have 27 degrees and 37 degrees. Compare muna natin yan. So, we have less than. And then, we're going to get the value or the binomial of the opposite side of these angles. So, for 27 degrees, we have 3x minus 5. And for 37 degrees, we have 2x plus 3. And less than din po dapat yan. So, yan yung kailangang masatisfy later on na less than yung value ng 3x minus 5 kesa sa 2x plus 3. Now, to get the value of x, so we have to solve it algebraically. Even though yaan po ay inequality, isa-solve natin siya na parang equation. We're going to use the properties of equalities, like additive inverse. So, ano ba ang additive inverse ng positive 2x, negative 2x? Additive inverse or the addition property of equality or subtraction property of equality. So, dito po ay addition property of equality, negative 5, so positive 5 po. And then, 3x minus 2x is x, and 3 plus 5 is 8. So, x is less than 8. Yan po ngayon yung upper limit. So, hindi daw po lalaki sa 8 ang ating value ng x. Ibig sabihin yan, hindi rin kasama yung 8, kundi hanggang 7 lamang. Okay? So, how about the lower limit? For the lower limit, ang gagawin po natin is to have our binomials greater than 0. Bakit greater than 0? Kasi wala naman po tayong sides na equal sa 0 or mas maliit sa 0. Kailangan natin ay mas malaki kesa sa 0, di ba? Walang side na 0 at walang angle na 0 when it comes to triangle. Kaya we have to set it as greater than 0. So, in this case, dahil parehong sides ay may binomial at parehong sides ay may variable x, we have to do this twice. So, 3x minus 5 is greater than 0 and also yung 2x plus 3 should be greater than 0. So, dito muna tayo sa 3x minus 5, additive inverse of negative 5, that's positive 5. Then, divide both sides by 3 para makuha lang yung value ng x, which will be x is greater than 5 over 3. So, kung kanina, dun sa ating upper limit, lower limit, x is greater than, so ito siya, 5 over 3, and x is less than 8. So, ito naman siya. Now, tingnan natin kung isasama pa ba natin itong nandito sa 2x plus 3 is greater than 0. So, bakit ito ay hindi na kailangang isama pa? Kasi po, magkakaroon tayo ng negative value. X is greater than negative 3 over 2. Wala sana tayong problema kung ito lang 2x plus 3 yung ating binomial na may variable x. Kaya lang, meron pa kasi tayong dapat i-consider na meron tayong 3x minus 5. And yung negative 3 over 2, pag ginamit natin yan dito sa 3x minus 5, magkakaroon tayo ng negative value. So, that means, ang kailangan na natin kunin is itong may positive value. Since ito naman pong 2x plus 3 ay mag-a-agree or masasatisfy pa rin itong 5 over 3 na ito. Okay? So, itong negative 3 over 2 ay hindi na natin isasama, kundi ito yung ating kukunin. X is greater than 5 over 3. Ito siya, but less than 8 po. Again, x is greater than 5 over 3. So, pwede naman natin gawing decimal value yan, 1.666667 or 1.7 kapag ni-round off natin. Kaya, para mas safe, pwede pong ang gamitin na natin ay 1.8, 1.9, and then, syempre, yung mga decimal values in between them, kasama pa rin. Then, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hanggang 7 lang po. Hindi kasama yung 8. So, that's how we get the range of possible values of the variables here on two triangles. So, kapag ang ginamit nating value ng x ay lumagpas sa mga limit na yan, hindi na po masasatisfy na yung side opposite 27 degrees will be less than the side opposite 37 degrees. Like, for example, ginamit natin yung 8 mismo, which is upper limit na nga yan. Hindi dapat tayo umabot sa 8. Pero yan yung ginamit. 3 times 8 minus 5, that's 24 minus 5, that will be 21. Well, this one, 2 times 8 is 16, plus 3 is 19. So, kung mapapansin nyo, magiging 21 ito, and then this one, magiging 19, ay dapat less than po yung makukuha natin. Pero kung i-compare natin itong isa, 21 and 19, greater than na yun. So, hindi na satisfy kapag 8 yung gagamitin nating value ng x. Kaya nga po yan yung upper limit. Hindi siya kasama, kundi yung mas maliit kaysa sa kanya. That's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So, let's proceed to our example number 2. So, here we have these two triangles given that we have 57 degrees as the measurement of the angle and 41 degrees for this angle. Then, the side opposite to it, 57 degrees ay yung 12. Then, for 41, we have 3x minus 6. So, same steps to follow po. First is to find the upper limit of the value of x. So, to do that, kailangan alam muna natin kung alin yung mas greater na angle at mas lesser na angle. So, here we have 57 and 41, greater than po yan. So, that means kapag kinumpare natin yung sides opposite to them, greater than pa rin po yung relation symbol. Now, solve it algebraically. 12 and then additive inverse of negative 6, that's positive 6. So, 12 plus 6 is 18, then divide both sides by 3. At makakakuha tayo ng 6 is greater than x. Again, 6 is greater than x. So, ibig sabihin, x is less than 6. So, para mailagay natin siya dun sa range of possible values, x is less than 6 yung gagamitin natin. Again, 6 is greater than x. Therefore, x is less than 6. Then, for the lower limit, kunin natin yung may variable x. So, 3x minus 6 greater than 0 po ulit kasi wala po tayong side na dapat mag-equal sa 0 at lalong-lalo nang walang side na dapat maging negative. So, here, we have to solve this algebraically. 3x is greater than 6, naging positive na. Then, divide both sides by 3. X is greater than 2. So, yun po yung ilalagay natin dito. interchange lang natin yung position. So, 2 and then yung x. And then, syempre, yung symbol po ay maiiba. So, 2 is less than x. Or, kung babasahin nga po kasi natin yan, x is greater than 2. So, ito pa din siya. But less than 6. So, ito naman yung ating upper limit. Ano-ano yung mga kasama for this range of possible values? So, hindi kasama yung 2. Meron tayong 3, meron tayong 4, meron tayong 5. Kasama pa ba ang 6? Hindi na po. So, these are the possible values of x for these two triangles. Na kapag sinubstitute natin dito, yung 3, yung 4, at yung 5, masasatisfy pa rin that the side opposite 41 degrees is less than the side opposite the 57 degrees. Okay? So, that's for example number 2. Let's proceed to our example number 3. We have these two triangles, triangle ABD and triangle BDC. So, side AD has the measurement of 15 and side DC with the measurement of C. So, to find the upper limit, so dito kung mapapansin nyo po, ang given naman dito ay sides, yung kanina ay angles. So, yung kanina po, ang ginamit mismo nating theorem ay yung Hinge Theorem or the SAS inequality theorem. But for this one, we're going to use the Converse or the SSS inequality theorem. So, how are we going to find the upper limit of the value of x? Kagaya rin po nung step natin from our previous examples. So, first, identify muna natin kung alin yung greater dito sa ating dalawang sides. 15 and 10. AD is 15. Again, yung side AD ay may measurement na 15, while DC is 10. So, malamang po, greater than yung gagamitin natin. And therefore, yung mga angles opposite to them, which is yung ABD, which is 60 degrees, and CBD, ito siya, CBD, yan po ay 5x minus 20 degrees. So, yan po, ang gagamitin natin dyan ay greater than pa din. Then, solve it algebraically. We need the additive inverse, or we're going to apply the APE, additive inverse of negative 20, that's positive 20. So, 60 plus 20 is 80. Then, divide both sides by 5. We're going to have 16 is greater than x. So, this will be the upper limit. So, in other words, x is less than 16. Okay? Hanggang 15 lang daw, hindi kasama yung 16. Now, for the lower limit, paano natin makukuha yung lower limit ng value ng x? So, kunin lang natin yung may variable x. So, ito siya, 5x minus 20. Again, greater than 0 kasi wala naman po tayong angle na 0 for this triangle. Kaya, solve it algebraically. 5x, additive inverse of negative 20, that's positive 20. Then, divide both sides by 5. So, the lower limit will be 4. X is greater than 4. So, susulat natin siya as one inequality lamang. We have this one. X is greater than 4 but less than 16. So, ano-ano po yung mga numbers that are greater than 4? 5, 6, 7, 8, hanggang saan? So, bago mag-16, so that's 15. So, yan yung mga possible values ng x dito na angle. Na kapag isinubstitute natin dito, less than pa rin itong 5x minus 20 kaysa sa 60 degrees. Okay? So, next example. We have this triangle, MLD and MND. How are we going to find the possible values of A? First step is to, again, find the upper limit of the value of A. How are we going to find the upper limit? So, we have 18 and 16 as measurements of side LM and side MN. So, compare muna natin. MN is 16, ML is 18. So, that will be less than. Ibig sabihin, yung mga angles opposite to them. MDN, so MDN is this one, yung 9A plus 15 degrees. Then, MDL, that's 141 degrees. So, compare natin yan, magkakaroon tayo ng less than pa rin. We have to stick with this given, yung sa sides po. At kung ano yung inequality for the sides, yun din po yung inequality ng mga angles opposite to them. Now, solve it algebraically to find the upper limit. 9a plus 15 is less than 141. Additive inverse of positive 15, that's negative 15. And 141 minus 15 is 126. Now, divide both sides by 9 para makuha na po yung value ng a. So, what is 126 divided by 9? That is 14. A is less than 14. So, dahil less than na agad yan, pwede na natin siya agad ilagay dun sa ating range of possible values. Nawawala na lang ay yung lower limit. And to get the lower limit, anong gagawin po? So, kunin yung 9a plus 15, which is yung measurement ng angle D, MDN. Gawin natin siyang greater than 0. Dahil nga po, yung angle ay hindi pwede maging equal to 0 and less than 0. Kaya, greater than 0 dapat. So, solve algebraically, that will be negative 15 and divide both sides by 9. So, magkakaroon tayo ng decimal value or pwede namang i-lowest term na lang natin. Negative 5 over 3 or negative 1.66666667 or negative 1.7. So, ngayon baka nagtataka kayo, ma'am, bakit yan negative? Eh, yung kanina naman sa first example, may negative din, hindi natin tinanggap. Kasi nga po, yung kanina dun sa first example is, meron tayong dalawang binomial na parehong may variable x. So, we have to consider each one another. Dito po ay, iisa lang yung may variable. So, pwede natin gamitin itong negative na ito. Kailangan mas malaki sa negative 5 over 3 or mas malaki kaysa sa negative 1.6667. So, para safe, pwede mag-start sa negative 1, sa 0, then 1, 2, 3 hanggang before 14. Or ito po yung magiging ating range of possible values. A is greater than negative 5 over 3 and less than 14. Okay? So, that's for our example number 4. Now, let's have our last and final example. Here we have these two triangles, LMK and triangle ONP, and the given sides are LK, which is 7, and OP, which is 9. So, to get the upper limit of the value of x, compare muna natin yung sides. So, dito, OP and LK. So, kung kayo po ang ginamit nyo ay LK compared to OP, okay lang naman po yon. Same result pa rin po yung kalalabasan yan later on. So, for OP, that's 9, and LK is 7. So, malamang po greater than yung ating inequality symbol. At yun din po yung gagamitin natin sa mga angles. So, for this one, ano ba ang measurement kapag meron tayong ganitong symbol? That's 90 degrees. And for the other one, we have 3x plus 18. Again, this is 90 and this is 3x plus 18 degrees. Tandaan po, greater than ang gagamitin. Nakadepende po dun sa sides. So, that's SSS inequality theorem or the converse of the Hinge theorem. Now, 90 is greater than 3x plus 18. Solve algebraically. Subtraction property of equality or simply additive inverse. So, negative 18. 90 minus 18, that's 72. Then, divide both sides by 3. The answer is 24. So, 24 is greater than x or x is less than 24. So, baligtarin po natin yan para ilalagay na lang natin siya dun sa range of possible values natin. Nandyan yung x is less than 24 and then hahanapin pa natin yung lower limit. And to get that, again, meron lang naman po tayo ditong 3x plus 18. Nag-iisa lang yung binomial na may variable x. So, yun lang yung kukunin. Then, greater than 0. And then, additive inverse of positive 18, that's negative 18. Divide both sides by 3. So, the answer is negative 6. So, the lower limit is negative 6. Kaya po, this will be our range of possible values. X is greater than negative 6 but less than 24. And ano ba yung mga mas malalaking number compare sa negative 6? Again, tandaan po, negative values po yan. So, ang sunod na malaki po ay yung negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, so 0, and then 1, hanggang 23 lamang po. Kasi hindi na pwedeng isama ang 24 dahil magiging greater than na. Or hindi na niya masasatisfy yung ating converse of the Hinge theorem that the shorter the side, the smaller the angle, and the longer the side, the larger the angle. Okay? So, this is our last and final example. Now, it's your turn. Find the range of the possible values of the given variable. So, we have this number 1. Ayan, solve nyo po muna sa notebook ninyo and then later on, write your answer on the comment section para malaman natin kung naunawaan nyo na nga ba ang topic na ito. Okay? So, ang given po dito is triangle ABD and triangle BDC. So, congruent po yung sides AB and side CD. Also, itong BD and DB. Kasi by reflexive property po yan. Given yung angle, so ang isa-solve natin ay yung side. Kagaya rin po nung example number 1, we have here two binomials with both of them na merong variable x. So, kagaya nung example 1, yung gagawin dito sa ating item number 1. Ayan. And ang theorem po na gagamitin ay ang Hinge Theorem mismo or yung SAS Inequality Theorem. Okay, so for number 2, we have these two triangles and the given is 120 and 140 degrees. Again, angles ang given. So, ang atin pong isa-solve ay yung side. Ang gagamitin po ditong theorem ay ang Hinge Theorem pa rin. So, follow the two steps para makuha yung range of possible values of the variable x. Ganun din po sa number 3. So, sa number 3 naman po, converse of Hinge Theorem na yung gagamitin. Why? Kasi yung 4 and 5 po ay measurements ng sides. And then, ang nawawalang measurement po is for this angle. And to find the range of the possible values for this variable, follow the two steps. Again, find the upper limit and then find the lower limit. And saan siya ilalagay? Huwag kalimutan yung ating inequality. So, x is greater than the lower limit but less than the upper limit. Okay? For number 4, so given din po dito ay measurements ng sides and then yung angles po ulit yung nawawalan or yun yung may variable x. So, that means converse of Hinge Theorem po ulit yung gagamitin. And same steps to follow. Huwag pong kakalimutan kung saan po dapat ilalagay yung sagot. X is greater than the lower limit but less than the upper limit. Then for item number 5, kagaya rin po nung 3 and nung number 4, given yung measurements ng sides, ang hahanapin naman po ay yung sa angles pa rin. So converse of the Hinge Theorem pa rin. And then, huwag kakalimutan pong ilagay dun sa ating inequality. Again, x is greater than the lower limit but less than the upper limit. Okay? So, that's all for this video. This is just the part 2 of the Hinge Theorem and its converse. And this is all about finding the range of the possible values of the variable for each triangle. Okay? So, huwag pong kalimutang mag-like at i-share itong video at mag-subscribe na rin kayo para updated kayo sa mga susunod pang video. So, keep safe everyone. God bless and bye-bye!